Hello everyone, and welcome back to the snowy mountains of the Yukir tribe, where it appears a life of excess is going to lead us to our doom. And that may actually happen now that we have 40 food and 40 creatures. And you may be wondering, but Seri, what excess could the wonderful, the noble, the armored body, hammer-tailed, cracker-jawed Yukirs possibly get themselves into? And actually, I think our story has definitely shown that it was Moose's influence. Oh my gosh, this family tree. It's too much. But I believe that the downfall of our current tribe lineage actually arrived when Moose, wherever the heck he is hiding, somewhere, there he is, where Moose managed to get himself involved. And I think that's because this guy right here wanted to have as many children as possible. He was freed from his icy prison within the glacier and set loose to flirt with as many of our Yukir females as he could possibly find. And he left behind, let me count really quickly, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children. So a fourth of the problem we are currently facing with our food shortages happened to descend from one particular very bullheaded moose. So we're gonna say that this excess in babies came because Moose was really more self-focused on trying to have as many mates and children as possible. Very egotistical. Maybe that is why he was found frozen inside of an icy block. His old tribe kicked him out and he got frozen for several eons until we freed him. But it has led to a big problem because we are super duper short on food. And the Yukirs have, however, learned two important new things in coming to this land. They have learned that they do love the snow, but they're not very adapted to it. They have to stick together and rely on each other a lot more than they normally do. Normally they can wander around, no problem. And they don't ever have to worry about being eaten by anything. Even over here, Rihanna is being kind of eyed up by these two predators, but she doesn't have to worry because she's armored bodied. So they're normally very independent, but the tribe has learned that during times of snow, they must band together and stay close. And one of you actually left this really awesome comment about the idea that maybe the Yukir have a breeding cycle, kind of like some creatures only have babies in the spring. What if the Yukir only have their nest and they only have babies when it snows, because that is the time that they stick together and stay with one another? And I think that is an awesome idea. Integrating that in, it kind of gives them that impression of being like wildebeest or bison, which is something that we've been saying they really remind a lot of us of. So we'll probably do that in the future, where the Yukirs tend to only have babies, unless we desperately need them to pass on certain genes, when it snows and when they come together and everybody can help take care of the babies at the nest. That leads to another big thing that the tribe has realized, and that's actually that they've started to think more about a certain ancestor that is an ancestress of the tribe, who has been kind of promoted into a small goddess that they all dream about and that they have started to tell their children. Because what should the Yukirs do when their children come to them shivering in the snow? Oh, there's Moose's bones! Oh, that's so sad. But I realized, what would the Yukirs tell their children in the nest when the snow comes down and they ask, why am I so cold? What should I do? Well, I think that the Yukirs would actually start telling their children about Anka. And you guys may remember Anka as our mammoth foot. And I really love the idea that she has become kind of like a deity of family and warmth and being part of a nest and keeping children safe and warm and close when it's cold. Because she had those big, gigantic mammoth foots. And we liked the idea that the little nicheling babies really loved curling up against the soft fur of her huge legs. And I loved that idea. Oh my gosh, that was totally on you guys when I asked for the different gods and goddesses and deities and other historical figures we've had in our various tribes. And that's what you guys said. So I think that the tribe, understanding that it is now too cold for them to just do their normal wandering, and thinking of only having children when they're clustered together tightly with one another so they can keep them warm, is actually thinking about Anka, and they want to go searching for guidance now that they are on the edge of destruction from another mammoth foot. So we're actually going to gather up those who we deem worthy of taking to the next island, and they are going to go searching specifically for the mammoth foot of the the world so that they can bring in that warmth to the family once more. Those big giant feet are what we're after next. And we are still trying to snag the, don't get me wrong, we're still trying to snag those mega horns that happen to be inside of a whole bunch of our niche creatures' recessive genetics. But I think that the mega horns have become kind of a sign of excess amongst the tribe. They have become sort of a sign of big egos, and it may take a really noble mega horned creature to change that idea. However, we will be trying to keep it into our prehistoric genes. And the last thing, the third and final thing that the tribe has learned upon their time at this particular island, which I think will forever be known as Moose Mountain, is that they can actually hunt the big creatures. Until now, they've pretty much ignored these predators. Like, what's the point? They try to chew on you, occasionally they fuss with them, occasionally almost by accident we end up killing one and we end up eating it, but it's not really something we actively hunt. And now that food is scarce, it's occurring to everyone that they want to actively hunt these big guys and that they have to work together to do that. So as we move on to the next island, we will become hunters, chasing down the larger prey. Like the walrus that is currently simmering inside of this hot springs, and I hope we have not lost the meat that is hopefully, look. Wait, I see it. You guys, I see it. I see the meat hiding inside of the hot springs. Yes. Hopefully it's still there and we can use it. That's so exciting. But they have learned that they need to become hunters as well as gatherers, that they are going to focus on having their babies primarily in clusters under trees, ideally like the Black Rose family actually, who perfected that, A+ on them, and that they want to seek out the mammoth foot of the world because the story of Anka, the wonderful Anka who took such good care of the baby nichelings and kept them warm in the snow, has started to become a legend among them, and it is spurring on this adventurous nomadic tribe to new lands. So all of that rambling aside, let's go ahead, and we do need to have Doe actually have her baby. She is currently carrying the child of her father, fingers and paws crossed that it is not going to be doubled up immunity, but may have the mega horns, and then we can scooch the ones we want onto the next island. So let's start the sorting. Step 1, let's try not to die of starvation, because now we are out of food. Phooey. Let's grab this food. That was the food that we managed to snag out of. Come on, be a lot of food, I'm begging you. That was the hunt we did with... I'm keeping an eye on it. Oh, and the temperature warmed up, so maybe all the creatures we had that were frozen will be okay. Look how much food! 30! Holy days! That is totally worth hunting. Just, it does fight back, so we probably want to become stronger. Keeping some of those nice claws in the family tree is, I think that's what the family wants now. They're realizing that they need to be a little stronger, which means having some claw action going on. Also, we have green eyes to mutate now. Boom. Nice. All right, and then the other thing is, I guess nobody has the... Dang it, I don't think anybody is actually going to be... Okay, so +2 strength. So we do get 1 extra point of strength if we have the big giant antlers, the mega horns, instead of the normal antlers or the normal ram horns. Noted. All right, well, let's go ahead and try to take care of this spot. Raina is over here getting a little bit fed up with being attacked by these predators. And we have just realized that, hey, we could eat these. So let's jump over. And Gregorius is going to help out over here. He is now no longer freezing as well. You guys, look! We have 40 food. These guys give 10 food each. Not bad for like being able to kill them off really quickly. All right, so now that we're not freezing to death over there, we need to start figuring out which creatures we are going to release, which ones we are going to keep, and who is going to have the babies we want to send on to the new land. All right, Lacuna, don't build a nest in the waterfall. I think she has lost her mind from grief because she actually did very deeply love the moose. Everybody else may have been just admitting that he was super flirty and had a roaming eye, but I think Lacuna deeply loved him. She knew his personality, but she still loved him dearly all the same. All right, and we'll have the Lakirnu kind of wiggle his way down. Holy moly, he can move it. We'll have him move down here and see if he can do anything. Oh, there's a dead fish. I want that fish. All right, Tuvok. Come get this fish. All right, so Tuvok can get that fish. We may have Tuvok also scooch out of here. We need to release some of our creatures or else we're just not going to make it. So let me think this through. Doe needs to have her baby. So we're going to have Doe jump immediately into this nest so she can have her child. I don't think we can do any hunting with Emmy. Unfortunately not. I need to pick which creatures are going to be going to the new island. So let's start with those, I think. I think that we definitely want to send some of the Black Rose line. I'm super impressed with how they've handled everything. Black Rosie probably wants her daughter Zenta to go. And how are Oaks? Because these are like our classic pure-blooded like Ukier, our pure breed Ukier line. Cracker jaw face, armored body, hammer tail, boom boom boom, really fantastic. We have K and H on Zenta, and we have G and D on Oak. So I think that Zenta and Oak would probably go. However, Opal, Opal does happen to have doubled up high fertility, and those beautiful Opal does, those beautiful eyes, and she's a little bit younger than Zenta. She has 3 more days on her sister. Might as well maybe, and I can only send 5 creatures. So I think that we're gonna send Zenta though, because I like her, and that she and Oak, if push comes to shove, she and Oak can keep the purebred line of our creatures going, no problem, which is very, very important. Whereas if I sent Okal, then that doubled up immunity may be a huge risk in the future. So Zenta's going to start scooching her way across to where we have our little teleporter. Plus, I think that Okal is kind of like a favorite of Jakos. He's a little bit fond of his daughter and would be sad if she left. And then let's see, Zoro. What can you do, Zoro? Oh my gosh, Zoro, you've got such really cool skills. Oh, he's really awesome. I want him and Okal to have babies, but we don't need more babies. We need less babies. We need less of everything. Let's see. We can have Hyla go ahead and collect this clam. And can she get that clam? Why can't she get that clam? Gosh darn it. Oh dang it, now she's drowning. Abir, can you collect that clam? Why can you not collect that clam? All right, Abir is going to be over here. Yaminka can't really collect anything, so I'm going to release these guys because I don't think they're helping quite as much as I was hoping. So let's make Yaminka an alpha really quickly. And we're going to say that this group just kind of wants to go off to do their own thing. There we go. There we go. So we'll send them out and they can head off together. And then Little Oak, you need to start heading out too because you can keep the purebred line going. And Black Rosie is going to quietly be collecting clams and raising, just spending time with Jakos. She and her husband are very, very close that way. Her mate, I should say. And then we need to figure out what to do for this group. Let's see. Riri, I think Riri is going to kind of lead the way, bringing all these little troublemakers down. I kind of feel like we need to make some of these ones have kids because they do happen to carry those, or at least the ones that have megahorns should have kids. Let's see. And Adithna, we might have Adithna be released. Anybody who doesn't have megahorns right now, we may release. Miri, I love Miri. And of course, keep in mind, releasing them, unlike the Amazon tribe, doesn't mean death. It just means they'll wander the island and they won't really have any obligations to the Ukier tribe anymore. They don't really feel that closely related to the Ukiers anymore. They're going to wander off like distant cousins that we will see at family reunions when we're all fighting over the same berry bush. So I think that's what we'll do with some of these creatures. Bullwinkle, we'll have you collect that. Bullwinkle has really cool skills. We'll bring him over and try breeding him in just a second. Who does not have? So Reese here. Reese and Adithna do not have the antlers recessive. Tata over here does. So does Miri, Bota, Kira, and Neo. So let's snag Riri, and we'll go ahead and have Riri guide these little ones away. And again, we're not banishing them in a bad way. They just don't feel as closely related. They're not interested in the legends of Anka, and they don't really want to go to the next island. They're pretty happy here at their home. All right, so that takes care of that group and eases up our burden a little bit already. And then let's see what we're going to do down here. Azumi just has had terrible luck from the... Dang it, Azumi! I didn't realize he had only 1 move left. He's had really terrible luck from the get-go. And just in case you guys weren't aware, and Sumi is going to pass away pretty soon anyway. Zune is really cool. We want to send somebody from this line, I think, maybe a daughter. Like little Rocco. She has K and D immunity, which might be useful. She has double runner's legs, so she can move really quickly. And she's another one of our pure-blooded niche creatures, or pure-blooded Ukier creatures who can go. So I think we will send little Rocco over. She's also a Zoli. Zoli would be, Zoli would probably be just the same, but she's a little bit older than her sister. However, Zoli's old enough that I could send her pregnant to the next island, which may be useful for being able to keep the pure-blooded line going. So is there anybody over here who would make a good mate? Let's see, we have K and D immunity, and then we have K and F from Bardo down there, and then we've got G and K over here, we've got D and K. It's interesting because I actually have a problem of too many of the rare immunities. D and E, so, yeah, Bardo's not a good one to flirt with. A lot of pure-blooded ones. What about Zoro? Hey, Zoro! Where'd you go? Nope, that's D and E again. Interesting. What about over here? Tied at D. D. What? There's so much D immunity. That was not what I had planned, but I guess that makes it even more important to find a good mate for her before we go. Let's see. G and K. Dang it! I thought I had somebody there for a second. D and G. Oh my gosh, what a headache. What a headache. It's like she shares immunity with everybody. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to pick at random. K and B, K and D. Do I like Takel? No, Takel has a medium body. We do not want to mate with him. We probably actually want to release him. And then who has an armored body? Tagir, D and G. Why is it so, okay, H and K. Dang it, that's a female. Sumi. All right, D and E. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna send Zoli over there, and I think that she is just really enchanted with Zumi. And actually, let's see, G and E. Dang it, of course! Azumi, get out of the water! All right, Zoli is gonna go over to try to rescue him, and of course the one that matches her perfectly is currently drowning to death in the water. So maybe I can get him out of there somehow. Hey Zune, can you help him? Nope, can't seem to get him out. All right, well, we'll figure that out in the future. All right, Tagir can move around in just a second. Lily can move around. All right, there's so many creatures. I broke my rule of not keeping more than 20 creatures. We're gonna fix that right now, actually. Kupo, can you actually get that? Dang it, fishing claw is not enough. All right, so we're actually gonna get Tykel out of the mix, and we'll have Emmy go ahead and chase them off. I think we'll release Emmy as well. She has very low fertility, so we'll just kind of let all of these guys say that they're their own family now. They're not really into continuing to stick around and follow these legends that are part of the family tree. All right, so we'll clear these guys out. They don't want to go to the next island, and they don't want to search out the Mammut Foot. They just don't feel a very deep attachment to that idea. So we're going to go ahead and release them. All right, Ithi, you're going to do the honors for me. Ithi, G and D, we have such awesome immunity genes. All right, chase. And then we'll have, let's see, you scoot closer so we can gently chase, and then we'll have to wait for Takel. But there we go. We're already releasing the number of creatures, and that's going to help us out a lot. All right, Lily is just watching over her family, who she loves very, very dearly. She'll go ahead and take care of poor Doe, who's been hurt. Anari, can we get Anari doing something useful, like finding some, yeah, she can probably dig stuff up over here. And little Rocco can help out down here as well by collecting up some food. As long as they can collect up enough food to like justify keeping them around, I don't mind. It's just tricky to find the kind of food we need. And Zune doesn't really have very many useful skills, gosh darn it. We'll send him over here. Maybe he can clear some grass away. All right, is that almost everybody? We'll send Lily down here. She can help out with clearing this grass away. And then Kusi, do I want to keep you around for something? G and K immunity. I already have other creatures on the move. And Tagir, they can kind of come down to this faraway tree. We don't have anybody gathering stuff at the faraway tree, so we'll send them down there. There we go. That should line everybody up properly now, and start working on healing everyone. Start working on shifting. I forgot. This is why you shouldn't have this many creatures. All right, well, we'll try 1 or 2 breeding cycles with the creatures here just to see if we have any luck with getting those mega horns that we want in the family tree. And I think Riri is just kind of presiding over this gigantic chaotic mess that Moose has left behind of his very random and various children. And I love Miri. I kind of wish we could take Miri, but let's see. She's almost old enough to breed. She has I and F immunity, which would be nice to send down. She and Tata could try having a kid. K and B, I and F. Let's see. And then K and B from Bullwinkle here. Let's see. Does Bullwinkle have... Bullwinkle does not have armored body. So we will release Bullwinkle. Out he goes. He doesn't have it anywhere in his lineage, I mean. Neo does. Tata does. Tata also has hammertail and horns. So we've got quite a few handsome boys to pick from. And then Kira will try having a child as well. So E and B immunity, which means Neo is out. And Bota might be in. K and B. So Bota's the only one that Kira could actually mate with. So we'll have to wait on that as well. But she can come down here and help out with collecting some grass while we wait. Oh, and there's some food down here as well. All right, so you get to work. Neo, could you be a possible mate? Neo couldn't be a possible mate. So we'll go ahead and we will release him next time too. But he can help out with clearing a couple things away first. So Neo and Bullwinkle, you guys are out. Bota, you are the only mate you could have is Kira. So Bota and Kira are going to be a little couple. Oh, is that a little nest? Nope, it's a little tree stump to stand on. And then Miri and Tata are actually going to be a couple, which should be kind of interesting. So we'll have to see how that works out. But we'll let her kind of collect some things too. There we go. Now I've got it all sorted. Whew, and it's actually kind of fun to see how the tribe is starting to fragment and split itself apart. There's some who are willing to follow up the legends and some who want to pass on and just not keep that in the family tree. All right, we've got a lot of movement going on. I spy with my little eye a really yummy looking bunny and got it. All right, so we'll snag this bunny really quickly. Or at least we would snag the bunny really quickly. We can't even move that quickly. Tuvok. Oh my gosh. You guys are just a mess over here. All right, so let's see. Please tell me. Ah! Why? No! Vendukta! Doe! I'm so sorry. Our attempt to pass on those mega antlers is lost in tragedy because we ended up with little Vendukta and we're going to have to give him a new name. I kind of want to name him. I'm going to name him Moose Jr. because I actually think that Doe's kind of mourning the loss of her father/mate. So we'll go ahead and leave them here. We're going to have to release so many creatures. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. So Moose Jr. did not turn out to be the awesome bearer of genes that we were hoping for. However, these two are old enough to start having some children. And then we had another baby up here and another Tata. Oh my gosh, but he already has the Cracker Jaw, but he has Double Digger's Paw, which is kind of frustrating. However, Cracker Jaw is nice, and he has the antlers in the back. He might be one we send on. We'll have to see. We might send that little one on, so Lacuna is going to frantically watch over her last remaining child. All right, and then up here, boys, you guys are out of here. You can help out by clearing away like a couple of these old nests to tidy up the area, and then Riri is going to tell you to go and do a little exploring. Again, we're not banishing them forever and ever and ever in a deep, cruel way like we might do in the Amazon tribe. We're just saying that this is not the time or place for them to hang out. All right, and then Zinta, she's going to get a little old if I'm not careful. So Zinta and Oak, I might just have them 100% ignore food. And they're going to keep moving so that they can try to get over to the platform. Like, that's how quickly we're going to be leaving this island soon. Pretty darn soon, in all reality. All right, let's go ahead and collect up that food. Got to keep collecting up the food. Over here, Okal is going to be staying with her father, Jakos, and their mother, Black Rosie. It's almost like they're running a really quiet little house on the prairie life in the corner, under their tree, and gathering the family close, passing on the values of relying on your family members to one another. Very, very potent. All right, there we go. Black Rosie, you're going to go ahead and take care of those things. Let's see if there's any more. No more clams over here. We're going to go ahead and have Zoro chase away Yamenka, just so Yamenka can leave with the others, and they're just going to live their own independent life. They don't really feel like they're officially part of the Ukir tribe anymore. Totally fine. So they're headed out. Let's see. And then we've got Ithi, who is going to actually be our banisher. So he's got to work his way over to this cluster to release those guys. Or really, they're more like diplomats who are popping over and they're meeting with a group, and the group is like, you know what? I'm not really feeling like I am that attached to the idea of being a Yukir anymore. And we need to not take it super personally. All right, there we go. We'll remove that. We'll grab this. And then actually we've got to get everybody away, unfortunately, from the baby, because the baby is a little death carrier. And Doe, I think, is very depressed about that. So we'll send Doe. No, there's a healing plant somewhere nearby, or I thought there was. Doe, what can you do, actually? She can do a little bit of digging, and she can do some berry collecting, neither of which there's a lot of over here. Is there anything to dig up nearby? Nope. So Doe can come down here to keep an eye on her baby, and Lily can jump over here. Oh, yes! Chasing some bunnies, apparently. And a little Van Duke can scoot down. He needs to be old enough to get out of the nest. I think he stayed in the nest for so long because he's like, but it's warm here. And then, actually, Zoli was the one I was sending out. No, Zoli, you're not going to be able to mate with Azumi because he couldn't get his rump out of there in time. I totally forgot that Zoli was supposed to be headed off to the... I need to mark her with blue. Headed off to the portal to chase down legends of Anka and try to find out what it means to be part of that family line. Who should I have her breed with? Gosh darn. Well, you know what? The other thing is with Azumi, he's got double digger's paw, and I'm not really feeling double digger's paw anymore. So I think that we're going to go ahead and risk it with Sumi. Maybe. Man, did one of those other boys that we let go have that rare eye gene, or is that just... I think that's literally just Miri. So she and Tata better have a really healthy kid. All right, we'll just pull Zoli over here and see what happens. But this is kind of really refreshing. I think what we're going to do is once we get to the next island, we're going to sort of say it's like season 2 of the Yukir tribe, because they're going a lot longer than I thought they would, since we are not having an update this month, which is totally fine because the niche group has been working their rumps off like really, really hard to create the game that we now know and love. And that makes complete sense to me that like not every month can you have these gigantic updates. Oh no, we weren't able to have a pregnancy. There we go. All right, should I pick a spot around here? I kind of want to let Kira jump onto a new spot, kind of get comfy for her pregnancy. But let's see. And there's actually like a nice little berry bush right over there. Let's have her jump over here. And she'll go ahead and make a little nest right there. There we go. And hopefully we'll end up with the child we need. Also, I seriously need them not to have some digger's paws. So let's slip a nimble finger in there just in case. Or maybe I should put in... Let's put a runner's leg in just in case. There we go. Alright, so we're not going to starve to death. The tribe has started to fragment. We have started to think up the legends of Anka. And we are still... There's Moose's bones. Still mourning Moose. But I think when we hit the next island, we are going to call it like season 2 of the Yukir tribe, since it's gone on so much longer than normal. And we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to kind of just move with some fresh stories across the fresh new snow, which I'm really looking forward to. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to continue on trying to... Hopefully poor little Moose Jr. won't get eaten by this bird, but he is kind of carrying the plague. Oh, and we have some food to collect over here. Good job, Zune. But we'll just have to see what happens next time. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.